Welcome back, everyone. It was 1 year ago Sunday that a Trump campaign event in Pennsylvania was shattered by an assassination attempt. And we still know very little about the deceased suspect, Thomas Crooks, and his motive. CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane was at that rally and has examined evidence the suspect left behind.
We have millions and millions of people.
Thomas Crooks was just 20 years old with no history of political radicalization or violence.
Thomas Crooks,
An engineering student who impressed his teachers with big plans for his future, according to his former professor, Patricia Thompson.
I thought he was a star student. He had his head on straight and he was on a path for success.
But when Crooks's path changed,
Right here, right on the roof. He's going down!
shooting and wounding President Trump, killing volunteer firefighter Corey Comparator, and injuring two more at a campaign rally near Pittsburgh. Crooks was killed by a Secret Service sniper. Did you think it can't be him?
Definitely.
This is my audience for the persuasion speech.
In the months before the incident, he was seemingly leading two lives. CBS News uncovered emails showing last year Crooks was applying to transfer to a 4-year engineering program while at the same time designing a bomb. In between emails about school, Crooks ordered a chemical compound called nitromethane, which is flammable and explosive. He followed up when the shipment was late. He perused websites about firearms, tactical gear, ammunition, and then on December 6, 2023, internet logs show Crooks scanning a web page about Trump, and 1 minute later, reading about AR-15s, the same weapon he took to target practice at a nearby shooting range before using one in the Butler attack. We showed Thompson, who was interviewed about Crooks by the FBI, what we found.
I don't know why he would be so positive with his schoolwork and so dedicated to that, and then working on something, destructive.
6 months before the shooting, he was increasingly using encrypted email and internet, invisible online even to his friends.
Freshman year, 2019.
Is that more how you remember him?
Yeah.
Tristan Radcliffe, who was also interviewed by investigators, says images of Crooks from that day in July show a physical transformation.
When I would see him from elementary school to when I last seen him at college, he would always have tight denim jeans, glasses, short hair, and then just to see him like that, oh my goodness.
And then this was his final presentation.
Thompson, who taught Crooks in 2023, compiled an exhaustive archive of Crooks' schoolwork, searching for clues. Did you find it hard to open this back up?
Oh, yeah.
And the mystery over why he did it haunts those close to Crooks.
It's tragic. He did kill somebody, and, that's just unforgivable.
CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now from our D.C. bureau with more on this. And Scott, it's so interesting to see people so close to him also have questions and wonder what his motivation was. What more can you tell us about the FBI probe into the Butler shooting and its limits, I guess, to answering these questions?
Yeah, Errol, the FBI probe is about to hit its 1-year mark as well this weekend. And though the FBI has not really reported back on any big breakthroughs or revelations about Thomas Crooks or Thomas Crooks' motive, there's still an expectation, or maybe a hope is a better word, that somebody will find some evidence as to why he did this, why he executed this attack, which, in a very real sense, changed history.
I also want to ask you about another case that you've been following and we've got updates on. A court hearing right now underway for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. This is the Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador. What might we expect to happen today?
It'll be 4 months this weekend that he was deported by mistake from Maryland to El Salvador, a country from which he was protected from deportation by a prior court order. In court today, the judge is hearing arguments again as to what will the government try to do with Abrego Garcia if and when he's released from jail, where he's being held on a human smuggling charge in Tennessee. The judge there in Tennessee does not want to keep him held in pretrial detention, saying the arguments in the case isn't significant enough for pretrial jail. But when released, where does he go? To a third country, to a different country, not El Salvador, as part of a deportation? Will he come back to Maryland and be held here pending his trial in Nashville? A lot of variables here, and it's one reason, Errol, this saga continues into the fate of Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Yeah, we know those close to him are fearful that he would be deported again. Scott, thanks so much for this and all of your reporting.